Welcome to Call Bob and Hold Your Weave. What episode is this? 4? I think.
I think so.
Episode 4. I'm Brett.
I'm Kanaya.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a little while. Actually, it hasn't. Well, no, it hasn't been.
It definitely hasn't.
No, I don't know. It's nice to be back here with some interesting things to talk about today.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
how do you want to start what we're going to be talking about? Because it can go...
Today's topic of choice is cheating.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy topic to talk about considering none of us have been married or any of that. It's definitely an outside point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like it's still okay to have a topic on it. Because, I guess you could just kind of tell who,
Yeah. I don't know that I've been around cheating, but, have you?
No. Not really.
Yeah.
You hear about it.
Yeah.
It's weird in the sense of, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
So we hear about it. We started this topic because of, we were hearing about cheating and the idea of it, so.
I think I was actually just thinking about it, too, because I was like, it's so crazy when you've committed to someone, committed yourself to someone, and then completely betray them when you didn't have to. You know, you could have just ended it or left if things, if you weren't happy with it, but it's just, it's so interesting on what it takes for someone to cheat versus just end it in a normal way, or any kind of, a relationship where you are committed. What does it take for you to that that's what you end up, that's how you end up taking your leave. That's crazy when you actually think about it.
It's super crazy that because weddings are not, it's my whole thing of this and how I hate it, because you spend so much time with this person and you tell them that you love them,
Mm-hmm.
just to be I want something else. You don't love that person if you have the instinct to go get with someone else, even if they tell you I'm sorry and all that stuff. But no, you still at a moment in your life was I want something different. You can't just do that. You can't just and then just go back on everything. And even if it was one time, that's still one time that you were not thinking of your significant other. If you were, you weren't just gonna do it. And then I don't know. It's just what's the point of getting married and spending your life with someone just to cheat on them in the end of that?
Well, what do you think about people who come back from that? People who are together and then that happens on either side, but then they, can you come back from that, do you think?
Yeah, but you're going to be very cautious. You're not going to trust anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely going to change the relationship.
You're going to be does this person love me, or are they just going to inevitably, cheat on me, play me, use me for all my valuable resources?
Uh-huh.
Which is time and just attention and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing too. That really sucks, because you're taking away a part of someone.
You really are.
When you're cheating.
You absolutely
are. Because they're gonna question themselves.
Exactly.
They're gonna just think oh, it was definitely my fault. What did I do?
Exactly. So there's actually this show called Cheaters. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So I remember there was, because my dad watches that occasionally, and it was on, and I was in the room to hear it or to see it a little bit. But one of the scenarios I think was the girlfriend or wife was cheating on their boyfriend, and she was like, I don't remember like exactly what was happening, but she was like a model who would like do like photo shoots and stuff, and she would be having sex with like her other photographer when her boyfriend is a photographer, but she didn't want him to shoot her, so she got with other photographers for her work, but then they were like having sex and hooking up. Anyway, I remember on like one of the phone calls when they were like getting in on when like everyone was like getting in on what was really happening and stuff. The boyfriend had called the girlfriend while she was at her photo shoot, or one of her photo shoots, and I don't know, they were like kind of got into it, and then she was like, no, you're just so insecure, like I don't know why you're acting like this, why can't you just trust me, like what's wrong with you? She said something like that, and I'm like, that's evil.
That's so fucked up.
That's evil.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
They literally make you question your whole existence.
And like that's what's crazy, because it's like, they're like kind of trying to like they're like trying to take your power, and it's crazy because it's like, how can you accuse someone of being like the one who's like delusional or something, or like make them feel horrible about something that you're doing? Like that whole dynamic is just fucking insane, because like you literally are taking a lot away from a person when you do that to them, because you really are making them question, you're making them doubt themselves over things that are just completely false. And like that's so fucking manipulative. That's so fucking crazy. But I mean, I guess that's how like some people are just really fucking good at that. And honestly, why don't we talk about those people? Because those people are really what I want. Like I want to know how what took you?
Yeah, I want to know how it doesn't affect them. Like how does that, like, you knowing you're doing this to someone, how does that not,
like, how did you get to that point?
What part of the aging process do you gain that? Gain that ability? Because like you can do it when you're younger, like I said, because I did that when I was like a teen, like not a teen, like kid to a teen, but like I wasn't a teen. I was like 12, I believe. I think like I was the stopping point age. So like I can see you doing it as a kid, because like kids don't know anything and they're just automatically assuming if one person don't like you, the whole world doesn't like you. But how do you keep that growing up? How do you keep that same energy growing up?
See,
that's just like, because like when I was doing that whole, I thought it was just literally a phase. Like it's just something you go through if you're insecure off the bat as a young person. And then you eventually come to your senses like, I don't want to do this to a person. But then there's full-blown adults who keeps that. Like,
who have no mercy.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it. Like, you can't leave me. And like, I'm literally your heir. Like,
you can't breathe without me.
And if you call out something that I'm doing that is super shady and that I will call you out on, you're in the wrong. And that shit doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're cheating and all that stuff, and the moment they call you out about it, it's their fault?
Right.
How? How does that work?
Well, I guess that's kind of the same, like, the same turn as, like, it's like, like, you're blaming someone for, like, being raped, kind of. It's that same, like, twisted kind of, like, thing that you would throw on that kind of thing, on a person, I guess, like where it's their fault for being hurt, or it's their fault, like
shouldn't have been wearing what you were wearing. Shouldn't have agreed to marry me.
Right.
When I told you I loved you and want to marry you too.
And committed to you.
Yeah.
And
it's life or death.
Like that's crazy. But I mean, it's hurtful and it's devastating, obviously, no matter how far you guys are into the relationship. But if you're married, that
for
fucks up
years.
Like that fucks up your life.
Then just to be like, I cheated on you. Like, what? Why?
That fucks up like your
You
whole.
ruined everything.
Yeah, because that fucks up the whole everything of what the marriage even meant
Yeah.
for all that time.
Like, what was the point? We literally just spent years together of just loving each other. And it sucks even more if you have kids with each other. Because then it's just like, why? That's trapping someone.
You just kind of tainted the whole family with your bullshit.
Yes, now like these kids have to grow with their parents apart.
Over some bullshit.
Over nothing. Like, literally, this couldn't have happened. Like, if you really didn't love this person, why? But then that's a whole nother different thing, too. Because that's cheating. But there's also another thing where two people just fall out of love with each other. That's a thing, too.
Right,
But I don't understand how that happens.
Is cheating so much easier than just to take an honest look and be like, look, this isn't working anymore?
No. No. That's the one problem with the world. No one wants to talk about things. So then they do negative things which everything could be solved with just talking it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally, compromisation? Come on. You wouldn't have said I do if you didn't love someone. And if you didn't, why did you say it? Like, you can't trick yourself into believing you love a person. That's not how that works. Your heart can't love something it doesn't.
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna have that, and that's what happens sometimes. People are just like, fuck it. Like, no. Like, let someone know you don't want a future with them.
It's just crazy how you can,
and then move on.
Exactly. It's just crazy, like, how, just in, like, a general sense of, like, how much better the world would be if people just communicated a little bit more than they do. Like, there's so much miscommunication in the world. It's so unhealthy. Like, it's, like, that's an understatement. It's, like, ridiculously, like, I guess that's always been a thing with humans, though. It's always, like, that's just kind of a fault of our kind, I guess. But it's like, it's just crazy because, like, when you think about it, communication is so fucking simple. And then, like, when you don't have that, how much it fucks everything up and how much hurt there is everywhere, always, when people don't communicate because of the miscommunication between things. And that, oh, man, but that's a whole nother topic. But, like, that is essentially what leads into someone who is unhappy with the place that their partnership is at to then go and cheat. I feel like is if they're not able to communicate on what is really going on, then they're just going to go down a path of, like, something that's even harder to come back from. Like, that's crazy. Because, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you kind of said it, but, like, it really does. It ruins everything if you're committed for that long. But if you're, like, in a relationship for only, like, a few years or so, I mean, there's obviously that's devastating just the same. But if you're not, like, I feel like it's definitely when you're married and you've built a life together and then you betray that person.
Yeah, and then you're just like, I don't want this anymore. Like, come on, you can't just give away that.
Right.
You can't just turn off your kids.
Yeah, you can't, like...
or your wife, too, or husband. Like, you can't just do that.
I just don't think you can just check out after you've checked in and, like, you know? Like, that's crazy. But, you know, on the other side, when it's just been, like, a few years or multiple years, but, like, you're not married, like, there is, like... It's a little less... hard, I feel, to maybe come back from that because, like, you're not intertwined with this person's, like, I don't know, you're just not intertwined with them, so it's like you can get out and you still have yourself, and, like, but, like, when you're married and you actually share majority of things, like, that's just when a shitstorm happens and then doesn't stop until it stops. which it's just crazy. But I don't know, like back to what it takes for someone to do that, because like I've heard that, like, I don't know, I've definitely heard like a side of like the person who cheated, it's not because they didn't love the other person, it's because it was like a thing of taking a risk and like seeing if they could get away with it, like the thrill of it basically, or like just the thrill of doing something that they know that they shouldn't be doing, but they can try to still come back to what they have. Like I feel like that's a side.
Well, that's not a good side either.
No, because that's definitely like.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, that still doesn't make sense of, like, why would you... I see what you're saying, but, like, that still doesn't make it okay.
No, it doesn't.
That still hurts people.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, honey, I was just seeing if you could get away with it. It wasn't really nothing. I was seeing if you were stupid.
Uh-huh.
That's only what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I was just seeing if you're stupid and, like, blind.
Uh-huh.
That's all. But look like you're not, so cool. I won't ever do it again. No. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Nothing, but I'm just saying that I've heard that where it's like the person who cheated just wanted to do something that wasn't what they've been doing forever. But I feel like that's not the way to let that out. Like there's like, get a therapist if that's what you're struggling with, because like taking it out on the person that you're with is not going to get anyone anywhere. So, I mean, I'm just saying that was that's what I've heard, but like, I agree with you, obviously, and it's never like acceptable, or it's never like justified in like when you've committed yourself with someone and you betray them over stupid shit and then leave them to feel it. But I don't know, I feel like it's definitely the people who are like the manipulators, and the people who are the users, and the people who trap people to get what they want from them. Those are definitely like sick people who are not who obviously are just not okay. But like there are a lot of people who are like that though, and who have become very good at doing that. It's crazy. I mean, what do you think about that? People who are like so far gone that they've...
I don't know. Like I feel the same way. I'm like, that's still not okay to me.
Yeah.
And like it's just not an excuse to like do all that.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it.
No one does.
I don't, but like clearly the people who are doing it does.
Well,
so like I don't know. It's like it just seemed pointless. I don't know. Maybe people got time. Maybe people already have like, I don't know. No, there are some people who take the cheaters back. And I'm just like, at that point, do they win? The cheater won.
Mm-hmm.
And they will continue to do it, and all it takes for them to say is, I'm sorry, never again. Then what kind of human being are you? Like, I'm not trying to like say it's your fault as the other person's being cheated on, but I'm like, at a certain point, you have to be the adult that you are and know your personal gain, like know your life. Because it goes to that whole thing that I was saying about like how when you're married, everyone just assumes that you two are together, you're now one body.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, when you're cheating, you now have to detach yourself.
Uh-huh.
And if you, because that's up to you. No one's gonna do that for you. It's like, friends and stuff are gonna be like, hey, maybe you, like, don't do this. But like at that point, it takes you, the adult, the other adult in the relationship, like know your worth.
Yeah.
Know that is it really worth staying in this relationship that I'm
not at all, but
being cheated on?
That's what addicting relationships are. Those are what toxic addicting relationships are.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, it still takes it's still up to you.
Of course.
To get out of that because it's not healthy at all.
Yeah, but I'm saying that some people are so good that they trick even people who are good with like good in their own. Like some people are.
But you can be good in your own and still like that's obviously you can still be good in your own and like still fall for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's common. Like it happens.
That's what
But they will be quicker to get out of it.
Yeah, of course.
Than some other people
who are more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think it just depends on how you handle the situation.
Of
like,
course.
You can just be like, you can like say all this and then just get cheated on and automatically leave, no second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could give a second chance and it might end up working out. But I don't know. Personally, me, if I was in a relationship and I got cheated on, I probably wouldn't give a second chance. Most likely, I wouldn't give a second chance, just due to the fact that I don't like it in the first place, and you would probably know that if we dated. You would know one of my big things is that.
Yeah.
So if you still did it, then fuck out of here. So you like, I don't know what you was trying to gain from that. You were probably trying to call me my bluff or whatever, but like, nah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I couldn't do it because that's the ultimate red flag. Like you can't like ignore that. So I would take that as a signal to.
I'm like, all right, great. You just now decided that this was right, that I shouldn't have done this.
Yes, exactly.
Good thing we didn't get married.
Yeah.
It's like just made it easier for me.
Of course, yeah. But it's just crazy. Like I'm saying that, like, yes, obviously anyone can be deceived, you know. But like the people who are the ones doing it, like people like, because I feel like most of the time, if someone like is that person, like that person has to like not have a conscience. And like my thinking is like, how does that happen? Like, how do you get there? What happened to you? Like,
yeah.
That's what
Who hurt you?
That's what I really want to know, because there are so many people I feel who, not even people who are like that, but just people who are just like hurt, and they like, from in any way, from whatever, for however long, but then like that's what's made them like that way, and how they like I don't know, how they are with people. Like how does that happen? Like how does a person get to that point of like no return, to where you just hurt people constantly? Because like what do you actually get out of that? Like
what do you get? Like nothing. You get nothing, because like
you get nothing good.
Nothing good at all. You're like, no one loves you at that point.
And that's really...
Maybe they don't want love. Maybe it's like, or maybe they don't know what love is.
Are there people who don't want love?
People who are single with there's people out there who want love from a human being, and they just surround themselves with a lot of animals.
Are we talking about my dad now?
That's exactly what we're talking about. Clearly you made it where he doesn't want love from a human being.
Me?
Yeah, you made it seem like it.
What do you mean?
Because you were like, yeah, he doesn't want anyone anymore. Which I don't think is true necessarily. I feel like he does.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But we're not here for that.
No.
My point is, there are some people out there who...
No, I'm saying, like, are there people who, like...
So there's some people who... I don't know. I don't know.
Because if you don't love yourself at least a little bit...
Yeah, if you don't love yourself, you don't love anyone. You cannot love anyone unless you love yourself. That's just proven. You can't... If you don't love yourself or anything like that, you can't look someone in the eye and be like, yeah, I love you. Like, no. Because you don't even love yourself. So if they tell you they love you, you're gonna be like, no, you don't. Like, because that's how you feel about yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you don't know what love is. Because, like, it comes from a personal thing. So you have to, like, that's just like a cliche saying, but, like, it's honestly very true. You should love yourself.
So, do you love yourself?
But that's not why we're here.
I'm saying, no, let me ask you. If you don't love yourself, how can you love me?
That's not why we're here.
But
we're here for cheating. I'm not cheating on you. I'm not. Just kidding. I have another best friend. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's my intervention.
I've had those thoughts before. I'm like, what if, and they were like, I didn't believe them, but I was like, what if like the days that like she says that like she doesn't feel good or something, she's actually with a whole nother person that I don't know.
Another best friend.
Like, I just thought, like, I've had those thoughts before, but I thought they were like stupid, because like that's stupid. But I was like, what if it just happened to be that on every time that
you're my side best friend.
Yeah. Like, what if that was a thing?
Side best friends?
Uh-huh.
You can necessarily have multiple best friends.
Well, yeah, but when it's like, you know what I mean. When I'm saying...
When you're supposed to be out with the other friend?
Yeah, technically.
Most likely that wouldn't happen, because I would just introduce you to, like I did with Katie.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, you, at that point, if you were like that, you kind of would be a cheater. You know? So, back to my question of, if you, throughout our relationship, or at least throughout the time that we've known each other, at least when, actually I don't know, but I don't know what I was going with that, but when there was a point of when you didn't love yourself, or could you have loved me at all if you didn't have any love for yourself? Because I always wondered sometimes, because like when we first were getting close, I was like, and obviously both of us were not okay. I was like, there were a lot of times, well, because it was very unhealthy, but there were a lot of times I was like, I don't know if why am I still here if like you couldn't show any love to me because you didn't love yourself. I was like, why am I with this person right now if she can't even?
Well, it was weird because I don't love myself, but I take the love that you give, I take that love and I will give it back to you in a way. Because I'm like, it's a weird thing of like, I don't love myself, but I love myself when I'm with you. So it's like personally, like if I'm one-on-one with myself, I do not love myself.
Really?
But like I love myself when I'm around someone else who's giving off love, because I feel that they love me. So like with that being said, that means I have to be a good person. Like there's no way that I'm not, or there's no way that I'm not funny. There's no way that I'm not this. So it's like a positive thing. Like because like there's one thing to love yourself, but people who tend to not love themselves are not surrounding themselves by love. But the moment you surround yourself by like positive and just loving things, you'll start to gain into yourself.
Okay. So do you think that when you're with yourself and you don't or can't love yourself, does that, like, can you not love yourself because you, or wait, no. Is it because,
How do we get here?
I'm just curious on how it works for you as someone who has told me throughout time and just now that you don't love yourself. How do you love me, or at least show love to me, if you don't show it to yourself? Now that you've answered that, my next question is, because you don't love yourself, or by you not loving yourself, does that make you feel that you're not good or strong or funny or decent?
I think I'm okay. I don't think me not loving myself it's another thing inside, which is something you shouldn't explain here. So we're talking about cheating and not loving yourself.
Yeah, no.
Me not loving myself is a completely different thing. It's a whole nother path of way. That me not loving myself doesn't mean I don't think I'm a good person, and like it doesn't mean that.
Oh.
It just means that it's a whole nother thing that I don't really feel like explaining.
So
like I don't hate myself. Is not anymore.
Okay.
But like me not loving myself is different.
Okay, because yeah, I think there's a difference between hating yourself and just not loving yourself. Because I've definitely kind of seen like a change in you since you have begun to hate yourself less. I've definitely been able to see it, and I think that's why you're able to take the love that I give and project it you know?
Mhm.
But I do think there's a difference between not loving, like not having a lot of self-love versus like hating yourself. Because that's like, that is a whole nother thing, actually. But, um, yeah. So do serial cheaters love themselves? Do you think? I don't think they do. I don't think they can.
No, I don't know. I think they're too far gone. What the fuck is this? Wait, we can't let him in. He's gonna try to bite
He
us.
just like appeared.
Yeah, you can't let him in
Oh.
because he will try to bite you, and I do not want them becoming vampires.
So.
Yeah, I don't think they're capable. They could be. They could work on it, but initially, I wouldn't trust them.
So what if it was like a first-time offender? Do they love themselves? Do you think?
If you thought it and you did it, my answer is it won't be your first time anymore. You're gonna continue. Actually, I don't know.
If you got away with it.
Yeah, definitely if you got away with it. If you got caught, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And or if it didn't make you feel good, you probably won't do it again. So I don't really know. I think it just depends on the aftermath.
Yeah, actually, I
and
don't.
how it turns out.
I think if you've taken upon yourself to go and cheat on your partner, I think you don't love yourself. I don't think you can.
Yeah. I can see that too, and I also agree with that.
Whether it's your first time or your multiple time, or whatever, like I actually don't think you do. I don't think you. Yeah, you don't, because if you did, you would feel secure. So you would have like a better relationship, I think. Like you would feel secure about yourself, like within yourself, so that like when you are in a relationship, you wouldn't have to go and cheat if you already have what's there for you.
I also
So, I'm hot. I don't think that you love yourself if you are a cheater. Conclusion.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just very clear that you don't.
Yes. But yeah,
In other news, I'm 18 now. Just kidding.
I'm glad that you finally caught up with everyone else in your life now.
Did I catch up though, or did I get farther behind? I'm just kidding.
No, you finally caught up. I don't have to be angry anymore that you...
Be angry for no reason?
Uh-huh. At least not as much. Until you're at least, like, until I'm 21 and then you're, like, 19, which is how old I am now.
19. I would be 19.
Because imagine, like, me being 19 and you being 21. That's how it's going to be. But for me, I'm going to be 21 and you're going to be 19. And then you'll be 20. But it's still going to be those few months of, like, you're just falling behind, it seems. Or at least I feel like I'm 2 years older.
Yeah, you're definitely going to make me feel like I'm falling behind. And then I'm going to be like, why? I'm literally the age I'm supposed to be.
But, like, now that you're 18 and that you were in the same area, like, we're right next to each other, now it's like, it's fine. Honestly, it's the best it's ever felt. It's the best it's ever been, because it's always been, like, when I turned 18, you were still 16 for a while. And then that was an issue. That was a time. But, and what was after?
This is not a great position.
No.
Like, he has no heart here.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't think it's an ugly position, but I do think it's a position that
I think it's funny.
If you're in the wrong place, someone can absolutely take advantage of that.
Why would he fall like that?
But, I don't know, what else do we want to say on
cheating?
On cheating.
Because that's what we were. And then we went into not loving yourself, which it tied in.
Yes, because that's what it takes.
Yeah.
To get to that. So that's why I went there. And then I was curious when we were just talking about that and how it works on how you love someone if you don't love yourself, and that was a whole thing. But that was a quick thing too, so it's fine. But I don't know. It was just a question of me wanting to learn of what uh, about that, I guess. But that's not what we're here for, obviously. But I don't know. What is this? Is there anything else that we are here with about this?
I don't know. Cheating is stupid. It's literally not necessary. Don't get married. Don't take it far. If you're like boyfriend girlfriend, I can feel like boyfriend girlfriend is a good stage of your life to cheat. I don't think you should do it, but it's definitely not a stage where it's like traumatic in a way.
Yeah.
It's not. It can't really hurt you. Like definitely once again, it's gonna give you that mental thing of like maybe I'm not good enough.
Mhm.
But you're not married with kids.
Yeah.
And it could have gotten to that point, so you're lucky to have like figured that out before it was too late. Because like being boyfriend and girlfriend is like first stage.
Mhm.
And then you get to the end point, which is you can get engaged. Engaged is like a second point, and then the final point is you're married with kids.
Mhm.
Like don't get to that point and then figure out like I don't like you, I don't love you at all, I'm cheating on you with your sister. Family cheating pissed me off too, because you're watching your family. You watch your sister or your brother do their wedding, do all of this stuff, talk to you about how much they love this person, just for you to be like, just kidding, I'm sleeping with them. Like what? Why? Why would you do that?
I feel like that's as bad as it can get, though.
Like that's some unnecessary drama in your family now.
Yeah.
And that's just not okay in like any sense, because like you just screwed over a relationship, one you hold with your sibling and one you hold with them in love with their significant other. So there's that whole thing.
You fucked up a lot of people's...
Like why? You fucked up kids' lives. I feel bad for kids in the cheating situation.
Because they get it the worst.
They don't understand why mommy and daddy don't like each other anymore. They're not gonna, no matter.
But then when they do, they're gonna resent.
When they grow up, they're gonna hate. They're gonna pick a side. And then it's petty because the parents will start making them pick a side. So then they're stressed. They're stressed off the bat. And like they're upset and they're gonna do crazy things, and then the parents they're gonna blame each other, and then it's a whole nother cycle. Yeah. And no one wants that, and they're gonna probably do the same cheating thing or not knowing what that love is supposed to do. Like it's weird. I don't know.
But I have to say though that through all of that terrible shit that happened that didn't need to, you know how much better things become though, and how much healing happens. And you come into like what is actually right for you and for where you're at with everything, because like you after that point, if you're like the victim of that, then like you're gonna be stronger than ever, and you're never gonna have. I mean, if you like are able to, if you have self-love and like. You are like you understand what was actually happening, and it wasn't your fault that someone else did that to you, then like you're gonna build such a better life for yourself afterwards, and that's gonna be way more enjoyable than whatever life you did have before that was probably falling apart anyway. So I feel like on that turn side, it probably just gets so much better. And it's like, man, why was I even with that person to begin with? But hey, now I'm here and I'm fucking better than ever. And I'm so much better without you.
Yeah.
That's really why I feel like what it like. That feeling. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's all like, it happens because you have to go through it. And, you know, with the people that you meet, like it's all necessary. It's just like, it's just stupid though when it's like when all that hurt doesn't have to just be created. But it actually, I mean, all the things that are hurtful and negative turn out to help us more than anything. And so you gotta like take that for what that is, because that's only gonna help you. So you can just like learn your lesson with it and then like use that to your best advantage and grow from that. That's really all that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So go out and do that, is what I have to say, sisters.
Sisters. Go out and slay, sister. Sister slay.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that is my stand on everything.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's like just getting hotter and hotter as we go on here.
You get passionate.
Yeah.
About this.
I'm yeah. How long are we doing this?
You have 60 minutes. But
Oh, okay. So,
we can stop now.
well, I mean, is there anything else that I feel like that was a strong point to leave on. Possibly, if that is, unless we have other things that we want to add on to that.
That's all I got.
Alright, I feel like that's definitely what I have too. I don't know, I feel like it's just kind of difficult sometimes when it's like you have, I don't know, because like whenever you're like doing this and it's like, whatever comes to you right now is what comes, and like if something comes to you later and you're like, oh fuck, I wish I would have talked about that or said that.
Nah, I think this is one of those topics where it's over.
Okay, I guess so.
Because this was more of an opinionated thing.
Okay, that's true.
Since we never went through any of it. We're just telling from the outside point of view.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So.
Alright, yeah, I'm here for that. Well, if you have enjoyed whatever we've talked about today, or understood, or agreed with anything, definitely let us know about it. Let us know what you think. What we can, I don't know, what more we can understand.
Mm-hmm. If you're a cheater yourself and you want to explain yourself, do that. I don't care what you say, but at least you know you left a comment.
So, yeah, other than that, if you did like any part of your time with us here today, if you've stuck with us, then let us know by leaving a like below. And is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we will be back next week with more things to talk about other things, and hopefully have a good, conversations about it. I would love for us as we go on to just have better and better and better conversations. I feel like that's what I want. So, we all have that to look forward to. But, yeah. Subscribe if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Subscribe. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye. I just realized your shirt was green.
Shit. Fuck it.